You chose to be raped. You chose to be molested. You chose to be abused. You chose all these horrific experiences that happened to you. So you can utilize those moments to activate your spiritual awakening. So be grateful that those things happened for you because you needed that. You needed that to remember who you are. Are you still here with me? Do you realize how ridiculous and how insane that sounds? I don't know where this theory came from, but I think that is a really insensitive and atrocious statement to make to justify traumas that people endure. This theory that we chose these horrific moments before we came to this planet, it's one thing to turn your pain into power. It's one thing to transmute your pain into something bigger that's going to make a bigger impact in the world. But it's a whole other thing to justify the dark stuff that you endured. Does that actually make you feel better? And I'm speaking this as someone who is completely unbiased about this, by the way. I am such a good place in my life right now. I've endured so much stuff that you couldn't even imagine, based on, if you see me right now, like, you would not imagine the stuff. You could not even imagine the stuff that I have endured in my life. Like, I've overcome so much. So I'm in a good place where things like that, like statements like that, do not actually offend me or affect me, because I'm saying, like, I'm that objective, so I can speak on this topic. I think it's ridiculous because so many people glorify trauma. I don't think traumas need to be glorified. I don't believe pain needs to be glorified. Yes, pain is indeed an inevitable part of life, and for people who are spiritually powerful, most, if not all people, endure like the darkest times of life and dark trauma, like evil stuff. Like, you know firsthand what it means to endure something or to experience evil in a way that, like, you can't believe that type of evil exists. But still, I don't think it is right to say that before you came to this earth, you chose these moments. Because there are people who don't ever recover from those traumas, by the way. There are people who don't ever heal from those traumas. And even the people who do end up growing past their pain, I don't actually think it is even safe to make a statement that those things happen for a reason. You shouldn't take responsibility. You did not choose any of it. I mean, ask yourself, what is the benefit of claiming that you chose that? I don't see any benefit about it. I really don't even see any like validity behind that statement. The better questions you have to start asking is, these things happen to you, that you don't have to understand why that happened to you. Stop trying to reason with the why. Stop trying to reason why these horrific things took place, because it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes you just were a victim to somebody else's darkness and their demons, or somebody else's temptation, or just some sick shit. That is what it is, and that is not your business to figure out the reason behind it. Stop making someone else's darkness your responsibility. The right questions to be asking is, this happened, and how have you been dealing with this? That's where you can take a spiritually powerful approach. Like, if you want to really make this spiritual, then actually be spiritual about it. And that means it's all about your spirit, right? How have you chosen to stand for yourself? How have you chosen to accommodate yourself? How have you chosen to speak for yourself? How have you chosen to show up for yourself despite all those things that happened to you, despite all the horrific stuff in the past? What is your relationship with yourself like in this moment? Questions like this are far more significant than you trying to figure out like if you chose these experiences or not. Because even if you say you chose it, what difference does it really make? Because like I said, there are people out there that can't reason with that. Like, let's say you chose it, right? It happened to you. So what does it mean? So why am I still feeling like shit? If I chose it, then how do I overcome this? How do I, like, it creates too much confusion. So those ideologies, I see them as actually dangerous. You have to understand that as much as spirituality is like this beautiful thing, or at least it's seen as that, especially in this new age, mental health, it's its own thing. And a lot of people are struggling with mental health issues. Ideologies like that can do more harm than good, because a lot of people don't feel stronger because of their trauma. A lot of people are stunted forever because of their trauma. So for you to put it in their face that they chose those experiences is just sickening, actually. So